of Sirach, chapter 31, verse 3 and 4. The rich had great labor in gathering riches together, and when he rested, he is filled with his delicacy. The poor laboreth in his poor estate, and when he leave it off, he still is needy. Okay, first and foremost, I'd like to give infinite honors and prayers to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakahakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to the Akim that's pushing the truth and sincerity. Lord willing, this video will be edifying first and foremost to the whole elect, then to those that cleave to the body. And this lesson gonna be about bros who work heavy hours, or work much, you know, but benefit little. Okay? Again, there's an epistle for brothers who work heavy hours, or put in mad hours at work, but benefit little. You see? Because the benefit is the part that you have to put in trial or have in your reasoning. Okay? Because if you're gonna take time away from the truth, then you better be rich, man. All right? Or if you take the time that you could be giving to the Lord and give to Esau, then you better be rich. All right? And that's not a slight though. You know, I'm not saying that to be facetious or none of that matter. It's just understanding, if you're gonna cheat the Lord, all right, then you better gain much in the world. All right? Because you know, typically, we'll work to have extra money, all right, but then we'll slack and lack in our studies and reading and, you know, our growth in the Lord, all right, because we're desiring to have a little more, okay, more than what we should be content with. The brother posted a video on the article, post a video on the WhatsApp or the chat, all right, that, you know, be content with God have given you now, because really all you're doing is selling yourself short of the knowledge and wisdom, all right, and the labors that's sweet in her, all right, because when you at work, the anvil is just always in your ears, all right. It's hard to focus and build yourself up on wisdom, all right. Now some brothers have more laid back jobs where they can actually build in the truth, and then you got brothers that can't do anything while they have the truth because it's rigorous, it's hard labor, all right. So you gotta temper your labor and what you going to work. I know Jay gonna say, well, man, what you don't want me to go to work? Now it makes no sense to overly go to work, all right. Don't put much work into the Lord, but put much work at work, and then you don't even benefit. All right, that's a little asinine now. All right, now again, we know we're poor, we got the lowest of the lowest jobs, all right, and we have to make our daily bread, but making our daily bread don't mean we need to make extra. All right, so your daily bread gives you enough of everything you need. Now extra is just you. Want to go get 25, 30 hours of overtime? That's you. Is it wicked? No. All right. But it can be a vice of Satan, all right, to pull your time. You see, that's it. It's just an admonishment. All right. This is Wisdom of Solomon 8. I'm going to come back to that on Sirach 31. This Wisdom of Solomon 8. And I'm going to start at 5. It says, if riches be a possession to be desired in this life, what is richer than wisdom that worketh all things? So it's a work. It's a duty in wisdom. All right. I told the brother on the phone, the truth is like 2 jobs. What the hell? The jobs we work is 1. The truth is almost 2 jobs in itself, because first of all, it's the way it's centered in your life, all right? Everything has to be centered around it. And secondly, things can change, all right? You may be on a schedule of doing something one week or one day. Other brothers may come in, different things may happen. Brothers may visit or come in. And now you got to change and adjust your schedule. So the adjustment of the truth, all right, has its own schedule to it. So really, technically, this truth that is 2 jobs, all right? It's damn near 2 full-time jobs. Not alone less than the jobs we got to work, all right? So again, when you want to put more hours in that work, all right, then you're stunting your growth in the truth as well. It got to be a balance. You see? And there's no way I'm going to labor, all right? And it ain't going to benefit me, all right? Because you really can't compare riches to God. So at the end of the day, if I'm not going to get super uber rich, I'm not putting in that much work like that at work, man. To each his own. You know, me personally, I'm going to do as little as possible, all right? You know, hey, sure, no oppression make a wise man mad, man. Work is oppression, man. Jason be happy go lucky to go their ass to work, man. We wasn't made to serve. You know, some men be, you know, okay with their jobs or whatever. But man, you happy to go to work, man, you know, and just be there all goddamn day. You made it had it a devil. You know? Just fucking around, but you know what I mean. It says, and if prudence work, who of all that are is more cunning workman than she? Right? Prudent, right? Who is a more cunning workman than her, right? Working in that wisdom, finding her out. And if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues. Right? So her labor become powerful. Now work, there's nobody can work and become powerful. Because first of all, we under curses. All right, Haggai 1:6 let you know, right? We working for bags with holes. So the overtime, they're gonna tax the shit out you. All right, so now your labor is as the wind. It says, for she teacheth temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude, things that build you up. And which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life. You see? So your profit come in your labor and wisdom. Okay? Not at the job. This is Ecclesiastes 5:16. It says, and this is a sword evil, that in all points that she came, so shall he go. And what profit had he labored for the wind? All right, there's nothing to gain out of that. So if you have taken time away from this ministry, much time, all right, but though yet the dividends or the benefits don't eat, it's not an equalizer to the truth. All right, or to you getting ahead in life, okay, then you might want to rethink that. Pray to the Lord, you know, that something come through, or maybe you need to sacrifice more with money, you know, or whatever the case may be. You see, but working much or heavy in the truth takes away from you, all right, spiritually building with the Lord, because you're physically working for the mammon, all right. And you can become a servant unto it. You see? Even though you're not getting ahead. It makes no sense to labor in something you cannot get thoroughly ahead. And for me, again, if I can't get uber rich, all right, elite rich, I'm not giving much time to work, man. And that's just that. All right? When you talk to most brothers hate work. You know? This Ecclesiastes 5:12. The sleep of a laboring man is sweet, whether he eat little or much, but the abundance of the rich would not suffer him to sleep. So sleep is important in the truth. I mean, we can't be dog ass tired in the truth, Because we decided to overwork at work, man. You going to get overtime at work, that's solely a choice on you. The Lord ain't tell you do that. Jake, right? Jake, oh, I've been, working these hours. I'm tired. Now, we work, we labor. I get it. All right? But doing extra or more than what you have to do, that's completely on you, Jake. That don't got nothing to do with the Lord. That's you choosing to do that. So if you're tired, all right, to labor for the Lord, you don't want to put in the effort that you putting in for Edom, for the Lord, then that's a decision you made, man. You can't say, oh, the Lord got me at work, I'm tired. Like, nah, man. All right. This is Sirach 38 and 28. I had to get this right. And again, this is just an admonishment, all right? I don't want, look, man, do it however he want to do it, whatever work for him. If he gonna work, and be extra tired, for the Lord, falling asleep, on lessons and conferences and different things like that, then guess what, man? All right, that's a man that's gonna begin to be evil to yourself, man. All right, chasing the wind. This is Sirach 38 and 25. How can he get wisdom that holdeth the plow, right? 24. The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure. They have leisure time. Really, that's free time. All right, time that you have created. And then to be a man of the Lord, you have to create time. All right, because the truth requires time. It requires time. So if you decide to give much of your time to work, all right, then you by default cheat the truth somewhat. You see? Now we know you have to work to live, all right, but you don't have to overwork to live. Now brothers who make lower pay than others, then now they got to put in more hours. We get it. All right, I'm not speaking of that. I'm talking about those empty calorie hours that Jake just want to go do, man. All right? It says, how can he get wisdom that holdeth the plow and glory in the gold that driveth oxen and is occupied in the labors and whose talk is of bullocks? He giveth his mind to make furrows and is diligent to give the kind finder. So every carpenter and workmaster that laboreth night and day, and they that cut the grave seals and are diligent to make a grave variety and give themselves to counterfeit imagery and watch to finish a work. Yeah, look after it carefully, right? The smith also sitting by the anvil, by considering the iron work, the vapor of the fire wasted his flesh, and he fired it with the heat of the furnace. The noise of the hammer and the anvil is ever in his ears, and his eyes look still upon a pattern of the thing that he maketh it. He set in his mind to finish his work and watch it to polish it perfectly, right? I'm gonna jump to 31. All their trust their hands, and everyone is wise in their work. All right. But they will maintain the state of the world, and all their desire is in the work of their craft. You see? So the more desire you put into the work of your craft, all right, the more you're gonna defraud yourself of the good day, man. That's all you're doing, right? This is Sirach 14 and 13. In 14, Salakia. Defraud not thyself of the good day, and let not the part of a good desire overpass thee. So you got a desire to try to find a way to instrumentally work your schedule into serving the Lord more. Because when you serve the Lord more, then he'll give you opportunities, you know, to have more money. Listen, the Lord is not going to give you something that takes you away from him. That makes no sense, all right? The Lord going to give you a great job with all these overtime and benefits to take you away from him, of learning of him. That don't make sense, man. Jake can't get me to make sense of that, all right? The Lord don't give you something to benefit you, all right, but to cheat him. If you're a man of the Lord, it makes no sense, right? It says, shall thou not leave thy travails unto another, and thy labors to be divided by lot? All right, so even what you go and gain, naked, you know, naked you came, naked you gonna leave too, all right? So we gotta beware of that, man, and just Jake labor for possessions that he can't even get or keep, you know, and putting in overtime work, man, and still can't even keep particular things or gain to himself particular things. I always tell a brother, man, if I work, I'm gonna pull up in a motherfucking airplane to camp, man. All right, with the red carpet laid out. That's me. This Ecclesiastes 2. And 21. In verse 20. Therefore I went to cause my heart to despair of all the labor which I took under the sun. For there's a man whose labor is in wisdom and knowledge and in equity. Yet to a man that had not labored therein shall he leave it for his portion. So even what you work, you leaving it for a man who don't even labor in knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, man. This is also vanity and a great evil. So really, you should be laboring in that, man. All right, versus mammon, because we naked, we leaving with nothing. Jake dying with nothing. Well, I mean nothing, no property, no deed, nothing, man. All right, no 401k, no IRA for their family members, no businesses, nothing. For what had man of all his labor and the vexation of his heart, wherein he labored under the sun? So we are laboring, doing overtime, vexed in the heart, and then gonna come and be tied in the truth? Like, nah, man, you gotta consider this. For all his days are sorrows, and his travail grief. Yea, his heart taking not rest in the night. This is also vanity. Okay. Verse 24, there's nothing better for a man that he should eat and drink, and that he should make his soul enjoy good in his labor. Right? Yeah, hate not laborer's work, and that laborer's work really is plowing in the truth. This also I saw that it was from the hand of God. Okay. So that's pretty much the point. So again, it's for bros who work heavy hours, decide to do overtime and different things, but benefit little next to none. All right, meaning what? You're not getting ahead. You're not setting yourself up, you know, more financially. All right, so really it's just defeating the purpose. All right, and trust and instill your time in the Lord, that he may bless your substance. You see? So I don't want to wrap this out. It was edifying. Next time we see Shalom.